This video series is dedicated to my good mate Dennis Patel, a man whose knowledge of the desert was unmatched. Rest in peace, my friend. Hey guys, Stefan Fischer here from All Off Road. Thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of our desert adventure. We are on the Hay River trek, and today mechanical issues have just piled up for nearly all of us. So stay tuned, keep watching, and let's see what happened. Our first issue on the trip, Stephen's car doesn't start. Morning, Stephen.
Morning.
Not starting at all, nothing.
Nothing.
You want my battery booster?
No, it's not the battery.
You have smoke out the back.
White smoke?
Yeah.
Ah.
Fortunately, Stephen and Chop are both capable mechanics. That's what we want to hear.
Had a shitty connection on the glow plug rail.
Ah, got it done, mate. Beautiful. So you put a rag with petrol in the air cleaner,
In the intake, yeah.
in the intake,
Yep.
and that suck.
Crank the
petrol
motor
fumes
over,
in.
it gets a few fumes in,
Yeah,
and that's enough to ignite it. It's similar to using Aerostart
cool. So at home, replacing obviously the
glow plugs.
glow plugs, the connectors. I have to say the part of the Hay River trek between Beachcomber and the Madigan intersection is one of the prettiest parts of the Simpson Desert, I would say. It is just beautiful. It's not challenging, there are no hard dunes, but driving in between the swales, the super red sand, the gum trees, the spinifex in bloom all around us here, just beautiful. And I remember that I thought the same the last time I did it, last year actually. So beautiful. Oh, the Indigenous Midden Site on the Hay. We camped here last time. Everywhere chipped rocks. Parts of it.
Parts of a grinding bowl and a grinding stone.
From the Madigan crossing up north, the Hay is for at least 20-30 kilometers nothing but a tree graveyard. It looks, yeah, all dead trees. Some of them are coming back now, so if there's a bit more water for the next year or two, that some of them where you think there's no way they're gonna come back, there is green coming out of it. So it is quite amazing how adapted the Australian plants to these drought are. They pretty much chop everything off or let everything die which is not absolutely needed, and when water comes from whatever is left, even though it may look dead, life comes back, which is, yeah, really amazing. It's more at the place tree. Intersection Madigan and Hay River track. I heard that clonk, looked in the mirror, rear mirror, and saw what I thought a piece of wood. So I thought a piece of wood flicked up under the body because I felt it. But the clonk was continuing. Had a look at the rear, couldn't see anything. Had now, after it didn't go away, had another stop. Had a look at the front, and my driver's side sway bar mount, the U bracket, pretty much bolts are still there, cracked off, is gone. So we tied that now up with some cable ties, and the clonk is gone. So today seems to be the day of technical things, mechanical things. Stephen with his glow plugs, but look, if that's all, I'm happy. Easy to replace. Okay. I gotta say, whoever created this route, he must have been pretty damn drunk, because there are so many curves in here on the Hay River track. It's just not funny. And from one side of the curve you can't see the other end of the curve. There is absolutely zero reason I can see for any, or not for any, but for 80% of that curves. So my theory is whoever created that road was paid by the kilometer, and he wanted to get the most money out of it, and hence he made S-bend after S-bend after S-bend after S-bend. You get sore forearms here from all the curves. It is funny. Stephen started the mechanical day.
Yeah, I don't think I've got an issue. I just want to eliminate it.
Noise in the rear, you reckon?
Yeah, I might have a stone in there in behind the rotor. So I just need to. But I can't get the block under the jack because the
So reversing doesn't remove it?
Nah.
Should make that noise again, Chop. Oh, okay.
There's something rubbing on the rotor. Might just be dust. I'll just try something. Elimination.
Yeah, today was the first day really with any issues. And how it always happens, everything comes together. So in the morning Stephen tried to start his patrol. It wouldn't start. Turned out that one of the connection hoses to the glow plug was a bit corroded. So they started in the morning with a rag of petrol in the air intake, and then it did start. Then I heard a clunk on my car and lost one of my sway bar U brackets that completely ripped out. The bolts are still there. And then Chopper had a funny noise in the rear, so he just pulled the wheel off, but that's just a rear Toyota handbrake, something stuffed in there. But Toyota doesn't have a handbrake anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much, doesn't hold us up. So Stephen and Chopper just removed the lead, cleaned the connections and everything. So tomorrow morning we will see where that did the job, because we have a big day. We have to make it to Jervois before 5 o'clock. Otherwise we're going to be sitting around the whole of Sunday, because station server only opens on Monday again. So let's see what happens.
Work out how this works.
Yeah.
Fucking thing.
Good job.
Danke.
Bitte schön. Sorry Dave, last one, otherwise...
Ah, it's all good, mate. I'm on the wagon this
But you
trip.
probably have tons of booze anyway.
No.
Huh?
No, we're travelling. No, we're having a dry trip this one.
What? Wine?
Oh well, it doesn't count.
I see, and this is where the satellite phone comes in, because that you can't do with a PLB, obviously, and also not with a Soleo or Garmin InReach. We're on the Hay River track, and I wanted to see whether Jervois, flies are still not in bed, unbelievable, whether Jervois is open on Sunday. It says it's closed, but so I got the Thoraya satellite phone out, called Jervois, and yeah, for 4 vehicles you pay a little surcharge, but then they're open. Yeah, that is just one of the many reasons why I still carry a satellite phone next to my PLB, and on this trip also next to the Garmin InReach Mini 2 and the Soleo. Stephen's cold start test in the rear there. He's fixed it all work. That is good. Car started. The northern end of the Hay River is very green. It's beautiful. At least parts of it. Then you have again parts of utter desolation and everything dried and dead. But this is beautiful. Driving on the Hay River track during the early morning, just after sunrise, and again in the late afternoon is an experience I highly recommend. These times of the day offer some of the most picturesque desert driving you'll find. The light and the landscape combine to create truly magical moments. I often think about those who start their desert travel late, around 10-11 a.m. and finish by 3 to 4 p.m. They are missing out on a special part of the journey. So I encourage everyone to try at least one early start. It's absolutely worth it.
Here we go, mate.
It's my buddy Chop Chop. He drives that old Toyota
The old clunker.
leaf spring, and look, he's the only one who is keeping up.
Yeah.
All the rest is having freaking coffee breaks along the track. They come 10 minutes later.
I think they're all wearing skirts.
Something like that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Mind you, they are Nissans, or?
2 Nissans, yeah.
2 Nissans.
These are 2. Oh, look, here comes one now.
Oh, there's one coming.
There's one coming, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's 5 minutes later, you know.
Ahead of us, to the northeast, stands Mount Winnecke, a sentinel in the heart of Australia's vast interior. Named after the explorer Charles Winnecke, this landmark is a reminder of the courage and determination of early explorers who charted these remote landscapes. But long before these explorers, this land was and continues to be deeply significant to its traditional custodians. As we traverse this ancient and rugged terrain, we are not just following a trek, we are tracing the stories and footsteps that have shaped this land. The 80-kilometer trek from Batten Hill to Jervois is highly corrugated, as you can see here. We arrived at Jervois Station around midday, and as they promised, they opened up for us so we could get fuel. Thank you very much for that. Filled up the main tank. Oh,
Did you need a copy? No, all good. Excellent.
Stephen, what is that?
I don't know, I just found it behind the counter there and...
I think
she
you're
said
bloody more addicted than I am.
Absolutely.
After refueling at Jervois, a big thanks to them for opening up, we set off east on the Plenty Highway in search of a camp spot for the night. The options were limited, so we ended up following a faint trek leading to what seemed like an old road workers' camp. By this time, we all returned to nearly road pressure in our tires. We were looking forward to a relaxed evening around the fire after a long day, but as soon as we turned off the engines, the challenges began. Stephen just mentioned he has a leaking fuel tank. Oh shit! Oh.
Bastard.
I've got some, you probably have as well, huh? Some of the cement shit.
I think so. Let's read the instructions.
This could be helpful. Noticing the hole was on one side of the tank, I proposed a practical solution. By placing the rear wheel on a rock, we could angle the tank in such a way that it might stop the fuel flow, at least temporarily. This position would provide a better chance for us to carry out the necessary repairs. Chop's idea was to put a tack screw with a bit of rubber around the base as a seal into the hole. I think that would actually have worked well, except that there was not just a hole but also a crack, and the fuel kept seeping through the crack.
That won't stick to diesel, bastard.
So a few more tack screws were applied, and then the idea was to put the dyno steel around it and hopefully reduce the dribble. But with all the diesel residue on the tank, the dyno steel unfortunately did not really adhere and it did not work.
Oh, it's coming off the bloody edge.
After our initial repair attempts didn't hold, we decided on a different approach. We transferred as much fuel as we could from the auxiliary tank into some of Dave's jerry cans. These allowed us to properly clean and dry the affected area. Since I'd used up all my dyno steel in the first attempt, Chop came to the rescue with some araldite, a 2-part cold weld epoxy from his toolkit. This time we made sure the surface was clean and slightly roughened up by sanding, which helped the araldite adhere better. Once applied, it seemed to set and dry effectively.
Put the araldite on.
We'll let it dry overnight. Put the araldite on and
Hope for the best.
hopefully the best. I don't know what we're going to do after that. If it doesn't work.
And then we drive to Tobermory. Put some wood in it, make that hole bigger, put a bung in it, a wooden bung, and drive to Tobermory.
Even if we can slow it up, that'll help.
All the shit happens in pairs. I've got a flat.
Here. Here it is.
You got it?
Yep, somewhere here.
The rock in it or something. Not getting that into the thread. Need to take the tire off at least. Try that, otherwise put the spare on. So everything happens in threes, huh? I mean, honestly, that is, hard to believe. Stephen with his fuel tank, then I move over here, flat tire. Shit always happens in multiples. It's it's funny how that happens. But good teamwork. I hope we have that solved. I hope my tire holds. We'll see in the morning. And that should be it. So a day like this is quick and easy Indian chicken pilaf, whatever that is. Camper's pantry time. Because I really can't be bothered cooking. Bring one next time. Problem is waiting long enough.
The verdict is this morning. Haven't looked. Ooh.
How did you know that? So many people know that these days.
He's just made one. He's just made what I was trying to make.
Right.
And I couldn't get it done.
So it looks like my tire plug has held. Let's see how it goes. I just hope that Stephen's fuel tank repair will hold. Otherwise we have to re-evaluate what is happening today. Yeah,
We're okay.
dare to say for how long, but
Not leaking.
no. Good. My friends, all my buddies are here. I feel so loved. Must have somewhere driven over something like this. They are hard as, that easy, especially if the tire pressure is obviously on gravel pressure, 30 psi. So that would have caused, not this one, but probably a smaller one somewhere there. So I usually look quite carefully, but they're hiding between the grass. So yeah, you were jinxing it yesterday. Fuck, we gotta be so careful driving out here. All good things happen in threes. But why don't you plug it?
I've got to jack it up
He's
first.
getting the jack off.
Ah,
the roof.
up there. Okay.
Find the hole. She won't be
Yeah,
a big
no.
one.
No, it's the leak. It was all right last night.
I use the soapy water to clean up the dishes, but very helpful finding tire leaks.
Ta-da! Oh, get a load of that. One of those Puncture jacks.
A Puncture jack.
Somehow does not belong here. Get the steel kit though for future references.
handle, yeah.
I've seen one break.
Oh,
Wasn't
okay.
pretty.
Stay in there, you prick.
That should do it.
Sure, eh?
Oh yeah, that's a whole party. Party happening? Yeah. Well, decide to pull over and wait. I mean, look at this. I don't know whether you can see that on the camera. That is all dust sitting there. And in front of us, dust sitting there. The slightest breeze of wind just coming in our direction, so it keeps it nicely on the track.
This was our first time we pulled into Tobermory Station. And what a surprise! Just a click or two away from the Plenty Highway, you find a green oasis. Camping on green grass, hot showers and toilets, as well as a bar and small store. Tobermory also has a small workshop and would have welded Stephen's tank, but unfortunately the crew was out on a muster. In hindsight, we could have saved ourselves a bit of hassle if we had continued on the additional 40 kilometers last night.
Stopper?
Yeah.
Before 9 o'clock, what's in your hand?
It's called a maxi bomb, mate.
Is that brekkie?
Yes. Yeah,
Second
sort
brekkie?
of. Second brekkie. Well, not every day you can come across a maxi bomb.
Sorry, grey nomads. I have a gutful. Half of them flying past with caravans on without slowing down at all. Then we have two oncoming here. Drive in the middle of the road, make us come to a complete standstill, and then complains that we run mud terrain tires and we don't slow down, which he has no clue of. I mean, ridiculous. Honestly, too many people shouldn't be on the road, especially towing.
Yeah guys, this is nearly the end of the trip. We are on our way to Bedouri, where Dave and Kylie and myself got ourselves a room for the night, and then we're all heading into different directions back home.
Oh no, I rang earlier to then book a couple of rooms. Kylie?
Bedouri Hotel. That's a motel. That's my room. It's all right. Unfortunately, no soap or anything, but a warm shower. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please keep in mind this is a self-funded channel, so I would greatly appreciate if you could help me out by sharing, liking and subscribing. And if you can, please consider head over to Patreon or buy me a coffee, and with the equivalent of a cup of coffee or two per month, you can really help me making these videos. Thanks a lot for watching and see you along the tracks.